So welcome to this week's Monday Musings. This week we're going to talk about drums. My first connection with drums began when I done my Reiki drum training. First done my Reiki training in Sui Reiki, then I done Karuna Reiki and eventually followed Reiki drum, where you use drumming as a facilitator for working with Reiki energy as well. There's different techniques that you can do with the Reiki drumming, but we're not going to go into them today. I just really want to talk about the different drums that I've got and how you can look about possibly getting one yourself. You don't need to be trained in Reiki to use drums. Drums can be a really good way of shifting energy. Any negative energy that you might have in your house, it can help release, same as like loud music can do the same. But by using the drum, it's the repetitive beat that tends to help you feel the vibrations in your different chakras, but particularly your heart chakra. And for me, the drum is something special. I think being the first connection with sound that I had, I felt that it just awakened something in me that I felt I wanted to share with others and move on. So I've got 3 main drums that I do use, and then I also have something that's called an ocean drum, but we'll show you each one individually so that you can see what they are. I'll explain how I use them, the different materials that they're made with, because it's just interesting for you to know and find out a little bit more if it's something that you're thinking of working with yourself. So my first drum is called a Remo drum, and this is a synthetic drum, and this was the one that I first worked with and received when I began my Reiki drum training. This particular one is a synthetic skin, so it's not a natural skin. It's got a wooden base round the side, which they all have, and then the synthetic skin over the top, and then as you can see, just the rope on the back so that you can actually hold on to it while you are doing the drumming. Just very shortly and just for a small length of time, I will just play this drum so that you can get a difference of what the different drums sound like, how they can be worked with and used as well. So this is the synthetic buffalo drum by Remo. So that's the synthetic drum, and that was my first drum. It still holds a special place in my heart for me, and the vibration does tend to really hit the spots. Once I'd done more with my Reiki drumming and found out the direction that I wanted to go in, I then found that I wanted to do what they call birth your own drum, which is where you actually make your own drum. So you physically use the different materials right from the skin right through to the different wood frame that you do use. So I went on a wonderful workshop day with 3 other ladies, and we all birthed our own drum, which was extremely special. And this is my drum that I birthed. So it's a natural skin rather than a synthetic skin. And this particular skin came from a deer. They're all naturally sourced, so no harm intentionally is made for the animal. So it's a lovely deer skin. On the back as well, you can see it's a nice wooden frame, and the wooden frame that I've got with this one is willow, and the reason I chose willow is because we've got a willow tree in our garden, and our house is actually called Willow Cottage, and willow tree has a special meaning in my heart as well. So willow was the perfect wood to use to actually create this drum. As you can see, it's even got the natural skin where it connects on the back so that we can actually hold the drum, and this particular one was all woven by myself with help of the person who was facilitating the workshop, because I wouldn't have had a clue if I hadn't have had the advice and guidance there. And for some drums you can actually put in a special stone, which I think you can just about see. This particular stone here for me. This stone I've had for years. You can place a crystal in if you'd like a crystal as well, but for me this particular stone had special meaning. I'd had it ever since I was a young child, from about 6 or 7, and my first memory of receiving the stone was I was round a neighbour's, and the neighbour actually got the stone out of the fireplace and gave it to me and said, "This is your stone, you need to keep this." That's the memory I have. Whether the memory is right, I really don't know, because it seems bizarre to have a stone given to you out of somebody's fireplace. And to this day, I've managed to keep this stone. Obviously, over the years, we've moved a lot, but it's always held special meaning for me and always appeared when I wanted it. So once I was booked on to do this workshop, I knew what stone I actually did want to place in my drum. So you do find skin drums have a slightly different sound, a different resonance, and also different drum beaters can make different sounds. So this is a naturally made drum beater for this one, so it's just a nice piece of hazel wood with the beater on the end. So just have a listen and see if you can tell the difference from the synthetic drum to the actual skin drum. So again, that is my second drum. Again, it's got a very special meaning for me, obviously, because it's one that I have birthed and one that I do work a lot. I tend to use this one the most when I do Reiki drum journeys for my Reiki students, but again, it can be used for many different things. My third drum, which you can see here, is quite a bit bigger than my other drums, and again, it's a natural skin drum. This one, which, as you can see, it tends to have different markings to what the synthetic one, and they're all obviously natural depending on where it's been used from. So this particular one again has got a wooden base on the back, and again it's just got the skin at the back for you to hold on to. But this particular drum as well can also have its sound altered. It's just small little holes, as you can see around on the outside here, that you can actually put an Allen key in and alter how the sound will sound by altering the size of the drum where the skin actually reaches. So it does tend to have a deeper sound to it. So again, we'll play this one with the different beater as well for you to hear. So they're my main 3 drums that I do use when I work with clients, students, and the sound journeys that I do take people on when we go and do the sound baths. There's one more drum that I have got, which is called an ocean drum. And when you hear it, you might realise why it's called an ocean drum. So I'll just pick it up so that you can see and hear. So again, this particular drum is a skin drum, and it's a double-sided skin drum, this one, and it's actually filled with ball bearings, which is what you can hear as the sound inside. The idea behind the ball bearings in the ocean drum is that it does sound like the sea. It sounds like the waves, as you might be sitting on the beach and then crashing in and just rolling back. So it's quite hard sound, quite an energetic sound, and it's a really good sound for grounding people and bringing people back if they're on journeys. So again, that's the ocean drum. It's different ones you can get, different sizes, and again, you can get synthetic ones, but obviously this is a skin drum. So they're the different drums that I've got. I'm sure over time I will end up with more, because you do tend to enjoy what you work with. So I hope that makes a little bit more sense on the different types of drums and how you can use them for yourself other than just with Reiki.